Okay, so today we're going to be graphing absolute value equations, and this is something that you can check on your calculator. So here's all the notes. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do so, write that down, and then can start it up again when we get to problem number 1. All right, so you'll know these are absolute value because you'll see the absolute value symbols, which are those vertical lines up and down. All right, so we're going to look at, is A positive or negative? Well, when you don't see a number here, there's really a 1 here. So A equals 1, that's a positive number, so that tells me that the V shape is going to open up. So it's going to look like this kind of a graph. Then I need to know what's the very bottom point. That point's called your vertex. So my vertex is the opposite of this number. It says -4, so that's +4. And then exactly this number, which when I don't see anything added or subtracted, that's a 0. So this tells me that my graph starts at 4, 0. And then my slope is the A value, which is 1. So that tells me my slope is up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay, and then you can keep going. So since it's a V shape, you go up 1 over 1 up and to the right, and then you go up 1 over 1 up and to the left. So there's your V shape. All right, so if you want to do this on your calculator, I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to hit math and move over to number, and it says absolute value. It's the first one. So I'm just going to put in x minus 4. Move over so I know that it's x minus 4 is inside the absolute value, and I hit graph, and it should look exactly the same as what you have on your paper. All right, so we're going to keep going. Number 2, look at your A. A equals 1, so that tells me that it opens up, and my slope is 1 over 1. Okay, now I need to do the opposite of this number and exactly this number. So it's 0, 3. Now the reason why it's 0 is because this is the same as seeing absolute value of x plus 0, then plus 3. All right, so I'm going to find 0, 3. I'm going to go up 1 over 1, make a couple points to the up and to the right, and make a couple points up and to the left. And there's my graph. Okay, number 3. So this time A equals -1. So my slope is -1 over 1, and it opens down this time. All right, and then I'm going to take the opposite of that and exactly this. So it's +2, 3. That's my vertex. So you always start at your vertex, and then you do your slope. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And then here I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay, and I'm just going to double check that this one is correct too. So I'm going to type in negative, then I'm going to go get the absolute value symbol, x minus 2, move over, and then put the +3 on the outside of the absolute value. And when I hit graph, it should look exactly like what I have on my paper. Notice I just put the arrows, but your calculator continues drawing. All right, number 4, we've got A equals 3. So it opens up because it's positive. My slope this time is 3 over 1, and my vertex is the opposite of this number, so +1, and there's nothing here, so that's a 0. When B and C are missing, those are zeros. When A is missing, those are 1s. So just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to start at 1, 0, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 1, 2, 3 over 1. And then same thing, up 3 over 1 to the left. And there's my graph. Okay, so everything on the back, oh wait, 2 more problems that we have to draw, and then after that we have to come up with the equation. All right, number 5 and 6, I'm just going to go through those quickly. So my vertex is +2, -3, and my A is 1, so that tells me it opens up, and the slope is 1 over 1. So I'm going to start at 2, -3, and I'm going to go up 1 over 1, and up 1 over 1 in both directions. And on this last one, my slope is -1 over 3, so that tells me it opens down. And then my vertex is 0, 3. So I started 0, 3. I need to go down 1 over 3 to the right, down 1 over 3 to the right. And then do the same thing on the other side. Down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. And I'm all done. All right, this time you're going to go backwards. So you want the absolute value equation. We're going to use the generic equation from the other side. Right, we got y equals A times absolute value of x minus b plus c. And we just want to come up with that information from here. So find your vertex first. I think that's easier. So -3, 0 is my vertex. So I know it's going to be absolute value of x plus 3, then plus 0, because this is the opposite. This number is the same. Now for my slope, it looks like I go up 1, 2, and over 2. So if I go up 2 and over 2, that's the same thing as 1. So my slope is 1. So it's y equals 1 times the absolute value of x plus 3 plus 0. Now, on a multiple choice test, you won't see that 1 there, and you won't see the 0 there either. So you can leave those off. So it's just y equals absolute value of x plus 3. So either of these answers is acceptable on a show your work. But on multiple choice, you'd only see the most simplified version. All right, so on number 8, we're going to find our vertex first. It's 2, 3. So I know it's absolute value of x minus 2, then plus 3. And then I just need to figure out my slope. Since it goes down 1 over 1, my slope is negative 1 over 1, which is negative 1. So I'm just going to put a negative sign there. And you know that that represents negative 1. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. All right, so this is 4, 0. So absolute value of x minus 4 plus 0. And then I need to count my slope. All right, so you need to find on your paper, you can see better, you have the grid lines. So look at where another point crosses at a nice grid line, and you can see that it goes up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So my slope is up 2 over 1, which means that there's a 2 here. And again, you don't really need that plus 0 there. All right, this one, my vertex is at 0, 4, so I know it's x minus 0 plus 4. And then I just need to find my slope. So if you can go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. So my slope is negative 1 over 2. All right, and a more simplified version would be y equals negative 1/2 absolute value of x plus 4 without the plus 0 there. All right, last two problems. So my vertex is at negative 2, 1. So x plus 2 plus 1. And then if you count your rise over run, you can go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So my slope is 1 over 1, which is 1. And now that means I really don't need anything there because that's an implied 1. So that would be the most simplified version. Y equals absolute value of x plus 2 plus 1. All right, last problem. So we got 1, 5 is our vertex. So x minus 1 is in the absolute value, plus 5 is on the outside. Then I'm going to go down 2 and over 1, down 2 and over 1. So my slope is negative 2. So it's y equals negative 2 times the absolute value of x minus 1 plus 5. And you're all done.